Hey guys, here we go on chapter 8 of book number 2 of Captain Awesome. Who's the bad guy now? Wonder what that means. Eugene's dad knocked on the door. Eugene covered his head with a pillow and mumbled, "Come in." His dad sat on the bed. "Are you okay, son?" Eugene's dad felt a bit strange talking to a pillow. Did something happen with Charlie? Everything went wrong with Charlie, Eugene blurted, throwing the pillow off his face. Turbo rolled to Charlie and not me when I called Turbo Force. Then Charlie let Meredith Mooney sit next to him on the bus just because she called firsties. And he wanted me to push him on the swing just because it was my turn to push. And most of all, he stole my favoriteest double-evered Super Dude number 429 comic. Eugene took a deep breath. Saying all those words at once made his face turn really red. Eugene's dad thought about his son's problems very carefully, mostly because he had no idea what Turbo Force, firsties, and double-evered even meant, but also because he loved Eugene and didn't want to mess things up even more. Luckily, Eugene's dad knew one way he could help him. How would you help Eugene? Take a second to think. How would you help him if you were dad? What would you want to be said to you if you felt like Eugene? Eugene, I don't think Charlie stole your Super Dude comic. How would you know that unless you had X-ray vision or something? Eugene paused for a moment, then asked hopefully, "Do you have an X-ray vision?" "No, son, but I do have this." Eugene's dad pulled out the missing copy of Super Dude number 429. Eugene practically fell off of his bed. How did his dad get his Super Dude comic? Was he the one who took the comic from Eugene's room? But why? Then it hit Eugene. Aliens stole his dad's brain, stuck it in a jar, and replaced it with an evil alien robot brain. Eugene leaped from his bed. "Don't you worry, Dad. Captain Awesome will save your brain." "My brain is fine. Although," his dad with his alien brain, "I do get a little headache sometimes when I see your mom's made more peas for dinner." "But why did you take my comic? If aliens didn't steal his dad's brain, well, Eugene was just very confused." "I didn't take it. I found it in Molly's baby doll stroller. And I think she took it because she wanted to play with you. She wanted to do something like you like to do." "She wanted to play with me?" Eugene thought. "When I saw her in the backyard, I kind of called her a bad guy and told her not to open the doorway to the backyard." Eugene confessed, feeling rotten. See, sometimes when you're the older sibling, right, you have to remember those young siblings. They want to be in everything like what you are and play with you all the time. She's not trying to be Queen Stinky Pants, is she? She just loves her big brother. Molly was going to open the doorway to the backyard? That is pretty serious stuff. Eugene's dad put an arm around his son. The boy stared quietly at the Super Dude comic. "Eugene, do you know what makes Super Dude a superhero? It's not the costume or the superpowers. It's because when someone needs help, Super Dude does everything he can to help them, no matter who they are. He treats everyone with kindness and respect, except for the bad guys, of course. And that makes him someone the rest of us can look up to and admire. Just like Molly does to you, her big brother." It's a pretty special thing to be an older sibling. The last words made Eugene have a terrible thought. Yes, even more terrible than Super Dude covered in drool. He hadn't been very nice to his little sister. And if she was the one who took his Super Dude comic, then he had been pretty rotten to Charlie as well. The thought was really hard for Eugene to swallow, even harder than his mom's icky peas. Maybe it was Captain Awesome who was acting like the bad guy. Bad guy, after all. But that's okay, right? We can always fix everything. We have to right our wrongs, right? Chapter 9. Something better than pizza? What could be better than pizza? I love pizza. The next day at school was Friday. Pizza Friday! Pizza Fridays are the most awesome day of the week because, in case you couldn't guess by the name, they served pizza in the cafeteria. Eugene loved it, much more than Mystery Meat Mondays. Actually, Eugene loved most anything more than Mystery Meat Mondays. But this Friday, Eugene wasn't very excited about much, even pizza. He took a bite of the cheesy triangle and sighed. Usually, he and Charlie would see who could make the longest cheese string from their mouths to the pizza slice. But making cheese strings wasn't much fun sitting alone. Charlie was sitting across the cafeteria. He wasn't making cheese strings either. So they're not sitting next to each other, but they both seem pretty frumpy, right? Here he is down here. Here's Charlie. Here's Eugene. Eugene picked up his lunch tray and headed over. Eugene had a lot to say. There was so much to explain, but he left it all up to one word. Sorry. Charlie shrugged and ate his pizza. Eugene continued. Captain Awesome I didn't treat you very well, and I'm sorry. Will you please come back to the Sunnyview Superhero Squad? Because the safety of the universe kind of depends on it. Charlie asked. No, Eugene replied, because you're my best friend. Charlie smiled. He was about to say something, but made a cheese string instead. I bet you can't beat that one. Eugene bit his pizza. A gooey, cheesy cheese string stretched from his mouth to the pizza slice. So I guess they take a bite and then pull their pizza away and see how far they can make their cheese string. The string broke and flopped over Eugene's chin. Mighty! Eugene and Charlie said at the same time. The two boys laughed, and their happiness washed away any bad feelings over their fight. So, bad guys, be aware. Nacho Cheese Man and Captain Awesome were back. The Sunnyview Superhero Squad was together again. And just in time for a sleepover on Friday night. All right, I'm going to stop this one.